Hello everyone, my name is Chef Abhijit Anand. I am the head pastry chef here at AIBTM. Welcome to yet another segment of US soybean program. Today we are going to start with samosas. Today we will be making samosas with two different kinds of dough. One is your controlled method and the other one is going to be the one with the experimental one, which is with the soy flour. So you know the basic thing about samosa is the dough and the filling. So filling can be anything. You can make a normal potato filling or a cauliflower based filling. We have chosen to stick with potato and soy granules ka mixed filling. So the first dough we are making is the controlled dough, which is the regular one which we've been making at home or the mithai dukan. So in the flour, which is 260 grams of all purpose flour or maida, I'm going to add the salt. In goes the ajwain or the carom seeds and make a well and add your ghee. Now we are going to rub this with our hands. This is very important. Actually, this is the most crucial step of making your samosa dough. You have to rub until it resembles a coarse texture or it looks like breadcrumbs. You will see that the flour has changed its color and its texture both. I have to continuously rub this until it looks like breadcrumb. Rub like this. So this has to be the action. Quick fact, this has been taught to me by my mother and grandmother when I was a kid. Once we have incorporated the entire ghee or the oil into the flour, then we will add water. And the key point of making a samosa dough is you want a very stiff dough. You don't want it to be like your chapati ka dough or your puri ka dough. It has to be very stiff. Otherwise, it's not going to hold its shape. Now you can see the flour looks like this, like breadcrumbs. And the real test is once you make a ball like this, it's going to hold its shape. Okay? So this means your incorporation part is done. Let's start adding water. You can take normal water, it doesn't have to be anything specific in that. Let the water get consumed by this dough, then I'm going to add some more. What I'm going to do is transfer this dough to my tabletop. Make sure you have a clean tabletop. And then I'm going to knead here. You can see the dough is very stiff. There are streaks of white flour that will go away. See the movement? It's going to its original form. All right? That means your dough is done. But immediately we cannot start making the samosas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this in the bowl. I'll take a kitchen towel, cover this and keep it aside for 15 minutes. Now we are going to make the second dough, which is the same dough except for the soya flour. We have same amount of everything. We have 260 grams of regular flour. In that we are adding 50 grams of soy flour. Two different kinds of flour mixed together. Salt 10 grams. Carom seeds, ajwain 3 grams. Just give it a good mix. In that we are adding the ghee or oil, whatever you want, 50 grams. Let's rub this together until we get the same breadcrumb texture or the coarse texture. There is going to be one little difference. Since we have added more flour in the form of soy flour, you might need some more water. Not too much. You have to keep a check. Approximately it would be around 30 to 40 grams of more water. Taking very little water, not too much. Since this one has soya flour, so it's going to need little more water than the previous dough. If you press it like this, it's bouncing back, done. Again you have to rest this for like 15 minutes to 20 minutes in room temperature. So our regular samosa dough has been resting for approximately 20 minutes now. It's time to take it out, and we are going to give a small knead, a very light, pat down. We are going to fill the samosas now. First of all, divide your dough into 2 or 4 equal parts. I have divided the dough into equal balls. Now we have to roll this flat. You don't have to make a circle. Rather than circle, you have to make an oblong shape. Grab a knife, make a cut from the center. What you have to do now is apply water on the edges. The water helps in sealing your dough, and your samosas will not explode once they go into the water, into the oil. Now what we are going to do is, this is absolutely beautiful and yummy potato and soya mixture filling for the samosas. So what you have to do is take this and make it a cone. It has to overlap like this, and slightly press. Do not press too much, just press it lightly and hold it in your hand. Okay. Take some filling. Make sure do not overstuff your samosas. Now what you have to do is take this part, pull it a bit and stick it like this. All right. And there you go. See. Accordingly, all the samosas, you have to do the exact same thing quickly. So these samosas have been filled. Let's take the second dough, which was the soya dough. This has also rested for approximately 20 minutes. Small difference, now you can see this slight change in the color. There is a very small minute difference in both the doughs. This is slightly darker, closer to whole wheat, because this has soy flour. Soya has its own color. Okay. Let's take this and give it a small knead. We are dividing the dough. Similarly, we are going to make puris, or we have to flatten these samosas. Just make sure the shape has to be like this. You can't make a round, otherwise you will not get proper samosas. It has to be oblong. Let me grab another plate so that we can know the difference between both these samosas. I have finished filling the samosas. This one is the regular one, the controlled dough, and this what we have for samosas are of soy incorporated dough. The oil has been heating up for a few minutes now. So I've taken canola oil in a pan. You can take anything, kadhai or anything, whatever you want. I've taken a deep frying pan. I'm heating it up. Important tip again, you have to take your oil temperature to high, and then once it's very hot, then reduce your heat. Only then you can fry your samosas really well. So the oil is at perfect temperature right now. I'm going to start frying my samosas. The first batch I'm going to do is the soy one. The oil is very hot, so just drop them like this. The first batch of samosas are fried. This was the soya one. This is leaving very less oil on the paper, on the butter paper. You can see the skin is not too oily. It's very less oily comparatively compared to the regular one. The benefit of adding the soy flour in your dough was mainly to reduce the oil during the process of frying. I'm going to drop the regular samosas in the oil. Once you are dropping the samosas in hot oil, do not instantly mix it or try to flip it, because the dough is still very fragile, it will break. Let's take these samosas out of the oil. This is the regular samosa, the one which has no soya flour. As you can see, this has more oil. This is the one without soya flour. This has more oil on its surface and on the butter paper. It's just leaving oil everywhere. Alright, so this is the inference from this entire experiment. Here you have less oil absorption, and here you have the one which has no soya flour has more oil absorption during the process of frying. So I hope you have enjoyed the samosa demonstration. This was all about the differentiation between how to make two different kinds of doughs using soy flour and the controlled method, which is the regular one. If you have any questions or queries, you can write to us, and we will be more than happy to answer you. Thank you so much.